Hey there, I'm Nancy Thompson, just your average 18-year-old with big dreams and a small bank account. It's a typical Friday night, and I'm wiping down tables at Joe's Diner, daydreaming about college life. Mike, my boyfriend, is sitting at the counter, keeping me company. You're going to kill it at Westbrook, Nance, Mike says, grinning over his milkshake. I smile back. Thanks, babe. I just hope this job and my college fund will be enough to cover it all. Just then, my phone buzzes. It's a text from my cousin, Emily. You free tomorrow? Dad wants us all over for dinner. I roll my eyes. Uncle Robert's family dinners usually just turn into him bragging about his latest business deal. But hey, free food is free food, right? Sure, I'll be there, I text back. The next day, I'm helping Mom, Sarah, to you with the dishes when she brings up the college fund. Honey, have you talked to Uncle Robert about accessing your fund? Tuition's due soon. I pause, holding a sudsy plate in my hand. Not yet. I'll ask him at dinner tonight. Mom looks worried. Just be careful, okay? Your uncle can be unpredictable sometimes. I brush off her concern. Relax, Mom. Uncle Robert's got this. Dad trusted him with the money. At dinner, Emily and I are chatting about dorm life when Uncle Robert clears his throat. So, Nancy, I hear you got into Westbrook. Congrats, kiddo. Thanks, Uncle Robert. Actually, I wanted to ask you about. He cuts me off. You know, when I was your age, I worked my way through college. Built character, it did. I force a smile. That's great, but about my college fund. He interrupts again, his tone turning serious. Nancy, you can't always rely on handouts. Sometimes you've got to make your own way in life. Something in his voice makes my stomach twist, but before I can say more, he changes the subject, going on about his latest big deal. As we're leaving, I pull Emily aside. Is everything okay with your dad? He seemed off. Emily shrugs, but there's a flicker of something in her eyes. You know Dad, always up to something. That night, I can't shake the uneasy feeling. I dig out my Westbrook acceptance letter, staring at the tuition costs. It's a lot, but with my college fund, it should be doable, right? Little did I know, my world was about to turn upside down. But hey, that's a story for another day. Stay tuned, folks. Things are about to get real interesting around here. I couldn't sleep that night, tossing and turning with worry. The next morning, I decide to bite the bullet and call Uncle Robert about the college fund. Hey, kiddo, what's up? His voice sounded strained. Uncle Robert, I need to access my college fund. Tuition's due soon. There was a long pause. Listen, Nancy, we need to talk. Can you come by the house later? My stomach sank. When I got there, Mom was already waiting, her face tight with concern. What's going on? I asked, my voice trembling. Uncle Robert couldn't look us in the eye. I made a mistake. The college fund, it's gone. Gone? I echoed, not understanding. What do you mean gone? He started rambling about bad investments and market crashes. But Mom cut him off, her voice sharp. Robert, tell her the truth. He deflated, slumping in his chair. I used it for my divorce from Karen. I was going to pay it back, I swear. The room began to spin. You used my college fund for your divorce? My voice cracked with disbelief. How could you? I'm sorry, Nancy. I'll make it right, I promise. Mom's voice was ice cold. Like you promised to pay back all the loans you took from me? I whirled around, stunned. What loans? Mom looked down, ashamed. Your uncle's been borrowing money for years. I thought you'd pay it back. I felt my world crumble. All those times we'd struggled, pinching pennies, and Uncle Robert had been draining us dry. Just then, Emily burst into the room, her face flushed with anger. Dad, what did you do? She turned to me, eyes brimming with tears. Nancy, I'm so sorry. I just found out. You knew? The betrayal was like a punch to the gut. No, not exactly. I knew things were bad with the divorce, but I didn't know about the fund. Uncle Robert tried to interject, but Emily wasn't finished. Tell them, Dad. Tell them why Mom really left. Uncle Robert paled. Emily, please. But she was on a roll. He cheated on Mom, over and over again. And he's been borrowing money from her company too. Each revelation hit like a tidal wave. I felt like I was drowning. I trusted you, I choked out. We all did. Uncle Robert reached out, but I pulled away. Nancy, please. I'll fix this. I've got a new deal in the works. Another get-rich-quick scheme, Mom scoffed. Enough, Robert. I couldn't take it anymore. Without another word, I bolted out of the house, ignoring their calls as I ran until my lungs burned. Finally, I collapsed on a park bench, gasping for air. My phone buzzed. It was Mike. "Nance, you okay?" Emily called me. I broke down, spilling everything between sobs. "I'll be right there," he said. As I waited, I scrolled through old family photos on my phone. All those smiling faces. Had it all been a lie? Mike arrived and wrapped me in a bear hug. "We'll figure this out," he promised. But as I sat there, I knew things would never be the same. The uncle I once trusted was gone, replaced by a stranger who had stolen not just my future but my trust. One thing was clear, I wasn't going down without a fight. Uncle Robert had no idea what was coming. The next few weeks were a whirlwind. I worked double shifts at the diner, barely sleeping, trying to figure out how to salvage my college dreams. Mike's family knew a lawyer, Mr. Jacobson, who agreed to meet with me pro bono. "Nancy, based on what you've told me, you have a solid case against your uncle," Mr. Jacobson said, flipping through my documents. I bit my lip. "But he's family. Is suing him really the right thing to do?" Mr. Jacobson leaned forward. "Nancy, what he did was illegal. You have every right to fight for what's yours." After a sleepless night, I made my decision. We filed the lawsuit against Uncle Robert the next day. When word got out, all hell broke loose. Uncle Robert called everyone in the family, spinning a tale about how I was an ungrateful brat tearing the family apart. Some of my cousins turned on me. Only Emily stood by my side, which caused a rift between her and her dad. "I'm so sorry, Nance," she said one day over coffee. "I had no idea how bad things really were." I squeezed her hand. "It's not your fault, Em." Meanwhile, I kept pulling extra shifts at the diner. One night, as I was closing up, my boss, Linda, called me into her office. "Nancy, I've been impressed with your work ethic lately. How would you like to be a management trainee? We can work around your school schedule." I nearly burst into tears. "Linda, that would be amazing. Thank you." As I was leaving, I overheard two businessmen talking about a deal with Uncle Robert. Something about the numbers they were discussing didn't add up. Curious, I did some digging. Turns out, Uncle Robert had been cooking the books for years. I anonymously tipped off one of his business partners, Mr. Donovan. A few days later, I was having lunch with Mom when my phone buzzed. It was Emily. "Nancy, you won't believe what just happened. The feds showed up at Dad's office." I tried to keep my voice steady. "Really? What for?" "Something about fraud. Nancy, I think Dad's in serious trouble." As I hung up, Mom looked at me, suspicious. "Nancy, do you know something about this?" I took a deep breath. "Mom, there's something I need to tell you." I spilled everything. The overheard conversation, my investigation, the anonymous tip. Mom listened, her expression unreadable. Finally, she spoke. "Nancy, what you did was risky. I'm proud of you for standing up for what's right," Mom said softly. Just then, my phone buzzed with a text from Mr. Jacobson. "Nancy, we need to talk. There's been a development in your case." I looked at Mom, anxiety and hope swirling inside me. Whatever was coming next, one thing was certain. I wasn't backing down. Uncle Robert was about to learn the hard way that actions have consequences, and I was done being his victim. A few days later, Emily called, her voice shaky. "Nancy, it's bad. The feds raided Dad's office. They're saying it's fraud, a lot of it." I felt a mix of vindication and sadness. "Em, I'm so sorry you're caught in the middle of this." "Don't be," she said firmly. "I'm done making excuses for him. I'm on your side, Nance." Meanwhile, I was juggling my new management role at the diner with endless scholarship applications. Linda, my boss, was a godsend, always working around my schedule. "You're going places, kid," she'd say, beaming with pride. Finally, the day of the verdict arrived. Mom squeezed my hand as we sat in a courtroom. When the judge ruled in my favor, ordering Uncle Robert to repay the college fund with interest, a huge weight lifted off my shoulders. But the victory was bittersweet. Uncle Robert, looking defeated, approached us outside. "Nancy, Sarah, I'm sorry for everything. Can we please try to work this out as a family?" I looked at him, this man I once admired, now a shell of himself, and shook my head. "No, Uncle Robert, we can't. Some things can't be fixed with an apology." As we walked away, Mom whispered, "You did good, honey. Your dad would be proud. With a lawsuit settled and a few scholarships secured, I started my first semester at Westbrook U. It wasn't easy. I was still working part-time at the diner, but I was making it work. One crisp fall day, I was studying on the quad when Mike dropped down beside me, grinning. "How's my future hotshot lawyer doing?" I laughed, closing my textbook. "Ask me again after finals." We chatted about classes and friends, the conversation flowing easily. It hit me then just how much had changed, how much I had changed. The story of Nancy's fight against her uncle's betrayal has come to a close. But now I have a question for you. If you were in Nancy's shoes, would you have pursued legal action against your uncle? Or would you have tried to handle the situation within the family? What do you think the long-term consequences of each choice might be? Share your thoughts in the comments below.